Hello, welcome to Pike Creek Farm. And if this is your first time here, thank you so much. My name is Renee and I'm happy to have you here today. Today I'm going to do a little quick snack, dessert, something for Jim to snack on this week. It won't last a week. I have this old vintage recipe called Scotcharoos, kind of a variation of Rice Krispie treats, but very rich, and it has sugar and Karo syrup and peanut butter that you mix with the Rice Krispies, and then you spread it in a pan, and then you take butterscotch chips and chocolate chips and melt and put on top. Yeah, and cut it in little squares. I remember when I had this recipe for the first time at work, my coworker, she used to bring in food all the time. She'd go home on lunch and bring back a granny cake or hot out of the oven, and I was like, oh man, it was good. But she brought these and I just really liked them, and my youngest nephew was coming to spend the night with us, and I thought it was something fun that he could help me make because he loved to cook and help so in the kitchen. And this is a stir thing, it wasn't dealing with a hot oven. It's a no-bake dessert. So that's what I'm going to make today is Scotcharoos. So I'll bring you over. I have a pan to go on the stove, and we'll get these made real quick. Okay, and this recipe is one of the ones from that bag that I have all my old recipes in. So this is one of the magic bag recipes. So Scotcharoos, what you do first is you put 1 cup of white sugar into a pan. I just filled my sugar container today, so it's really full. And I was filling a salt one too, so it's like, oh, I had to keep them straight. This wouldn't taste as good with a cup of salt as opposed to sugar, but it's sugar. We're good. Make myself second guess myself. So 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of light Karo syrup. I've had this for a while. I think I was going to make a pecan pie for holiday and then didn't, and that's about all I ever use it for. So then when I saw this recipe in my bag, I thought, okay, so I'm gonna spray my measuring cup with a little bit of spray oil because that will make this come out easier. So there is nothing healthy about this, but I do have Rice Krispies in the house. I have made Rice Krispie treats for a party. It was requested, and we don't eat them as cereal. Well, I don't eat much cereal anyway. Jim is more the cereal person. Now 1 cup of peanut butter, and no fancy kind, whatever. This is Jif. But you don't need to have like the natural or any of those. It's not that kind of a recipe. Like I said, nothing healthy about this. I'm not going to claim it is. Jim likes sweets. And he likes something to snack on. So sometimes I buy store-bought ones. And today, when I was doing my list, I thought, I don't need to do that. I can make something. Even though it's still not healthy, it has less additives and it's more cost efficient because everything I needed for this was in the house. So I'm going to turn the heat on, just under medium, and stir this up. And we want it to, you can come to a boil, and you want to keep stirring because you don't want it to stick. What were those cookies I used to make? They were peanut butter cookies, and it was just peanut butter and sugar And no flour. There was like just 2 or 3 ingredients. Didn't have like baking soda and egg. Or was it just egg and peanut butter and sugar? That might have been it. I also make, and this is, I make a bar that you make with, supposed to be the healthier peanut butter and honey. And that's the only 2 ingredients, and it turns into like a blondie, like a peanut butter bar. It's really freaky. It's getting smoother. Thursday was my mom's birthday. She turned 87. And I don't know if I've said, but she's on hospice. She's just not improving, and she's lost so much weight that my dad takes her in something every day to eat. He makes her something, whatever she requests, and takes her a little bit of tomato juice. And for her birthday, my brother and Barbara went over because they live about an hour away. There, this is, and took her shrimp, and she really enjoyed that, and she wanted ice cream cake, and she had ice cream cake. Okay, this is to a boil now. Becoming more like candy if you remove it from the burner. Give it a stir. And now we need 6 cups of plain Rice Krispies. And I'm using the fancy kind from Walmart. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And that's gonna be loud. Okay. There we go. Now we just mix this all up. Just like you do with Rice Krispie treats, you know? And it's getting heavy and stuck together, so that's a good sign. Try and get them all coated so they all have flavor. I'm gonna move that over there. Here's the pan. I'm just gonna spray it. There, that's. And then empty this into there. There we go. Put that in the sink. I'm gonna put some water in it right away. Now we want to spread this out. It's spreading pretty good. Sometimes this is hot, but I'll put some water on my hands or spray some oil or put some butter, and that makes it easier to spread and flatten out and compress. But it is hot. So it turns kind of like into a peanut buttery, toffee, caramel stuff that holds together. And there we go. That's ready. Next, I'm going to turn the heat down to low. And we want 6 ounces of butterscotch and chocolate chips. So these are 11 ounce, so I need almost half, a little over half. I'm not going to be so exact with it. And this one is 12 ounce. You want to melt them together over low heat. You could do this at 50% power in the microwave. You could even use a double boiler. And you spread this on top, and then you let it cool, and it hardens. So it's a real fast recipe, and you want to cut these in small squares because they're very rich. So they go a long way, so they're great for a bake sale. Almost melted. It gets to a point where all the little lumps just stir away. You want to, when it gets to that point, take it off the heat immediately. Okay, so see, I'm there. There's just a few lumps left. I am going to move it off the heat and keep stirring, because it will continue melting. It's real important when you melt chocolate to not have the heat too high, to not let any water splash in because it will seize up, and to not let it burn. Pour it on top. No-bake dessert or cookie recipes are always so nice in the summer when you don't really want to heat up an oven. So now we're just going to spread this evenly over. Makes a nice thin coating on top. There we are. We are going to let this rest. I put them in the fridge to get the top hardened because it's really muggy here today and warm. But now, like, the bottom's really chewy. So they're very good. They stuck together. In the fridge they got hard. You bring them out and they soften out. But I just wanted to get the top not so melty. So they're a different way of making a no-bake Rice Krispie type treat. They're rich, They're flavorful, small squares. A small square is all you need. And so just another vintage recipe. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video, if you push the like button, it really helps. And if you share it, or if this is your first time here and you want to see more vintage recipes, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time at Pike Creek Farm.